So this is love, da-da. So this is love. So this is what makes love divine. I'm overflowed, do-do-do-do, and now I know the key to all love is one. My heart has wings, da-da-da-da, and I can fly. I'll touch every star in the sky. So this is a miracle that I've been dreaming of. So this is love.
I was wondering, thinking about the show in terms of the crystal gems as parental figures or that side of it, can you talk a little bit, as much as you want, about that part of the show or about Pearl specifically?
Well, there's so much.
We'll keep it.
Yeah, I'll try and go quick. I mean, I love how the test came out. I think, I mean, I know with my brother, I feel like I always had this sense that I was sort of doing everything wrong, but because I was doing it wrong first, I could tell him, just be like, Stephen, don't do that. And then I would see him have this sort of happy, like a circle of friends and everything's going great, and I'm like, that's great, like, it's not like me. I'm blowing my high school experience, but Stephen's doing it good, because I'm telling him what not to do. I think, Pearl especially is, I think, I've struggled with some pretty dangerously low self-esteem, and I think I attack a lot of that through Pearl, and Stephen has always really been there for me, as someone I can always count on. So that stuff, the whole end of Rosa Scabbard, I ordered a chunk of that. That's really about something that he would actually do when I would get really upset. He would just sort of change the subject and do something else or play some video game he knew that I liked, and he wouldn't say anything, he would just do that. And, yeah, to be like, okay, we're just doing this now and then. But I would know, like, this is not what you want to do. You're doing this because it'll cheer me up, and he didn't have to say it, and I didn't have to say it, and we would just do something else. And that was just, I'm going to stop.
No,
I'm getting
oh my gosh!
So I was curious, like, I know there's a lot coming on the show that we want to know about. We won't ask, but a lot of surprises. And one thing I noticed with Adventure Time and now with Steven Universe is that there's a lot of back history and secrets and Easter eggs and things just built into the fabric of the show in a way that I don't think I remember other shows doing. I don't remember that experience. So I was wondering, how much of it is planned in advance, and is there like pressure there? Is that a new thing for animation now to have all these threads hidden throughout the show to unveil later as spoilers and roles and depicting male and female characters? I think one thing that I was interested in talking about is the importance of depicting queer characters. You said something to me over email I thought was really interesting. You said, I think it's important. You said people should, you can't wait until kids have grown up to let them know that queer people exist. And I thought that was a really interesting thought that I'd like to hear a little more on, if you don't mind expanding on that.
Yeah, I mean, you can't. I think there's this idea that is something that applies, or should be only discussed with adults. That is completely wrong. And I think when you realize that talking to kids about heteronormativity is just like air that you breathe all the time, it's kind of amazing that's not true in any other capacity. I think if you wait to tell kids, to tell queer youth that it matters how they feel or that they are even a person, then it's going to be too late. You have to talk about it. You have to let it be what it gets to be for everyone. I mean, I think about, a lot of times I think about sort of fairy tales and Disney movies and the way that love is something that is always discussed with children. And I think also there's this idea that's like, we should represent, queer characters that are adults, because there are adults that are queer, and you should know that that's something that is happening in the adult world. But that's not how those films or those stories are told to children. You're told that you should dream about love, about this fulfilling love that you're going to have. It's not
crushes and all of that.
Yeah, like the Prince and Snow White are not like someone's parents. They're something you want to be. That you, you are sort of dreaming of a future where you will find happiness. Why shouldn't everyone have that? It's really absurd to think that everyone shouldn't get to have that. Anyway, I think about that a lot. I think that, I would watch these, I loved Disney movies when I was little, and but I never felt like they were me, ever. But I loved them as this sort of like other beautiful thing that people like can have.
Yes.
There's something, a lot of times when I warm up, when I'm sort of playing music, I like to play So This Is Love from Cinderella, which I think is just a super beautiful sequence. Something that, I have never felt like Cinderella. I've never been this blonde in this huge blue dress that can spin and sparkles fly everywhere. That I don't feel like that would ever be me, or that ever was me. I just like to look at it. I want one where that's happening to me. Yeah, I could. What are poems and what are notes I made for changes to do on the show, because I made them so fast. Yeah, like this is just nice. Look, even if she's not going to the, there's nothing. like these half-finished thoughts, and I'll be like, oh, is that? I can't remember if that's a poem or that's something I forgot to finish writing. Let's see. Today's Island. I think that was actually corrected spelling. Yeah. Oh, here's one. This one just says clarity on stoplight running. Big, not exactly a citizen. Cut. We need music. These are notes. But I'm like, is that no? Those are notes. Yeah.
That might be a shopping list.
This is
sure.
No. This is a poem. This is a poem. It's called 9:10. Cream curtain, cat noise. Elysian Park birds have the morning news. I'm glad the world is going on, but I'm not interested. That's a poem, and not notes. The characters. Saturdays and Sundays when it's time to do these poses.
And we talked earlier, but I know we're going to talk more about the comics you did before, and you came from the background as an animator. It feels like a different kind of thing nowadays, where there's this expectation that you're not just drawing but writing it. So can you talk a little bit, did you have an expectation that working in animation meant that being a writer would be such an important part of the role?
Honestly, when I had no idea I'd get to be getting to do this or be getting to write. My whole plan was like, when I study animation, I want to be some cog. I just want to be near it because I love it so much. And then I'll go home and I'll do independent comics, and that's where I'm going to write, and that's where I'm going to draw. I figured that I would not be creatively fulfilled in my job,
right,
but I would have independent comics, and I would get to make a lot of stories. And I didn't actually know that the position of storyboarder or that board-driven shows existed. I just really loved animation, and I really wanted to write a bunch of comics. So when I got the job in Adventure Time, and my mind was blown, because I was like, this job, being a storyboard artist for that show, was just everything I'd ever wanted to do. I had no idea I'd get to do something like that, and then getting to make my own show, my first thing I wanted to do was just give other people a chance to do that job of writing and drawing for animation, because I thought, as an animation fan, just of animation history, that's how all the best cartoons were made. I didn't think anyone did them that way anymore. That's how they did Looney Tunes. That's how they made everything that's amazing. Yeah, artists writing.
And since this is at a comics-related show at MoCCA Arts Fest, we should talk about, there's a lot of indie cartoonists working on your staff. I was looking, and a lot of these are friends of ours. There's Lamar Abrams, Katie, Hillary, Helen Jo worked on the show, Angie Wang works on the show. It's a super team that you've assembled.